Respected participants, good morning from Stockholm. My name is Mustafa and I am Trade and Investment Counselor for Pakistan in Nordic countries. Welcome to all from Embassy of Pakistan in Sweden, Ministry of Commerce Pakistan, Board of Investment Pakistan, Embassy of China in Sweden, Embassies of Pakistan in Denmark and Norway. The focus of today's event is to highlight business opportunities available in special economic zones in Pakistan and projects under BRI. The business promotion institutions in Sweden, Norway, and Denmark would also spotlight sport which they are offering to Nordic companies for overseas market expansion and investment. I would request His Excellency Ambassador of Pakistan to Sweden and Finland, Mr. Zuhur Ahmed, to welcome the participants.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mustafa. I'm very excited to welcome all of you to this event, which we hope will be a special event and which will showcase the growing economy of Pakistan and the exciting investment opportunities which are available for our partners all over the world, and especially those in the Nordic countries, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Norway, uh, and the north of Europe. I am also delighted to welcome to this event today many of our old friends and great participants. We have the Ambassador of China, Ambassador Kui in Stockholm. I'm also thankful to Ambassador Henrik Persson, my colleague who represents Sweden in Islamabad, for his support in organizing this event. Uh, we are very grateful to our speakers, the chairman of the Board of Investment and the minister in the government of Pakistan, Mr. Atif Bukhari, who has kindly joined us here today, the Ministry of Commerce, which is represented by Mr. Umair Karim, an old friend and a dynamic bureaucrat. I'm sure his contribution will be very important in this event also. We are also going to have two representatives of the special economic zones in Pakistan, one from the province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Mr. Butt, Mr. Hassam Daud Butt, who is the CEO of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Board of Investment, and Mr. Mia Kashif from the Faisalabad Special Economic Zone. And both of these will talk about the opportunities and facilities available in their economic zones. We are also thankful to the Business Sweden for joining us here today. Mr. Andrich Tofte, I welcome you to this event, and I also welcome you to our region. And we hope that you can pay a visit to Pakistan soon and see for yourself the opportunities that we are going to talk about today. I'm also grateful to the Innovation Norway and the Danish Trade Department for joining us here today. Along with this, we will have representatives of many Swedish companies, uh, and but we are going to have two speakers from Nordic companies, one of them from Sweden and one of them Denmark. Matthias is an old friend, and he is running Tundra, which is a major investment firm, and it deals with emerging markets. And he will talk about his experiences in the Pakistani market and the way he sees this event is very important for us because we feel that there are immense opportunities of cooperation between Pakistan and the Scandinavian countries. Particularly, I can talk about Sweden and Finland, whom I have the honor of representing Pakistan here. Uh, I think the reason is that we share many of the visions towards the world and towards international trade. Firstly, our countries are open to trading and open to business with all countries of the world. I can tell you about Pakistan that we have made the greatest jump in the history on the ease of doing business ranking this year. We have jumped about 35 points. We we have a dynamic information and communication sector, which has made a growth of 40% in this year. We have many multinational companies in Pakistan, which have shown 8 to 10 times more growth in Pakistan than their growth in the rest of the world. And also, Pakistan is a country of innovation. It's a country of diversity. It's a country of ancient civilization, but it's a country which is looking forward, which is basing its economic growth on reform, on an agenda of sustainable development, on an agenda of innovation. And this is where we would like you to become our partners. As far as the Embassy of Pakistan, Sweden is concerned, I would like to take this opportunity to assure you of all the cooperation that we can provide to the Swedish and Finnish companies who are interested in this market and who are looking for Pakistani partners. This is a win-win relationship, and Pakistan has made tremendous strides in the recent years. Part of this is because we have been able to solve two of the major bottlenecks which are holding back our economy, the infrastructure and the energy bottleneck. And for this, we have had a win-win cooperation with our Chinese partners. And now we are open to welcoming partners from all over the world to join us in these special economic zones for mutual benefit and for mutual growth and development. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of my colleagues in Stockholm. I could see the ambassador of Belarus, the ambassador of Kazakhstan, the ambassador of Laos, and the ambassador of Serbia. Thank you very much, Excellencies, for joining us here. And to all of you whom I could not name today, I would like to welcome you on this exciting journey of Pakistan and its opportunities. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much, sir. We have the honor of having with us ambassadors of People's Republic of China to Sweden, His Excellency Mr. Goy Kongyu. Sir, may I request you to present your introductory remarks.
Thank you. 尊敬的各位使节、各位嘉宾朋友们，大家上午好。
Dear Excellencies, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good morning.
很高兴出席今天的“一带一路”视频研讨会。我谨代表中国驻瑞典大使馆，感谢“一带一路”执行小组，史蒂文先生，和他的成员，和巴基斯坦驻瑞典使馆为这次会议的举办所做的大量工作，向积极推动“一带一路”国际合作的与会嘉宾和各界朋友表示衷心感谢。
It gives me great pleasure to attend the BRI web webinar. On behalf of the Embassy of China in Sweden, I'd like to thank the BRICS team, Mr. Stephen, and the Embassy of Pakistan for their efforts. And my thanks go to those that are committed to BRI international cooperations and friends with us at the webinar.
2013年，习近平主席提出共建“一带一路”倡议，7年多来，中国已经与140个国家、31个国际组织签署了200余份共建“一带一路”合作文件。2013年到2019年，中国与“一带一路”沿线国家的货物贸易总额从1.04万亿美元增长到1.34万亿美元。
In 2013, President Xi Jinping proposed the Belt and Road Initiative. Over the past 7 years, China has signed more than 200 cooperation documents with 140 countries and 31 international organizations. From 2013 to 2019, China's trade in goods with BRI countries grew from USD 1.05 trillion to USD 1.34 trillion.
那么去年尽管受疫情冲击，但是中国与“一带一路”沿线国家的进出口总额仍然增长了1%，达到9.37万亿元人民币。去年中国企业与“一带一路”沿线对58个国家非金融类直接投资178亿美元， 增长18.3%。实践证明，“一带一路”倡议是一个稳定的、可持续的，能够完全应对疫情负面影响的经济合作机制。
In 2020, despite the pandemic, China's trade with BRI countries has able to increase by 1%, reaching 9.37 trillion RMB. Last year, non-financial investments by Chinese companies in BRI countries reached USD 17.8 billion, up 18.3%. BRI has been proven to be a stable and sustainable economic cooperation mechanism that can withstand the tests of the pandemic.
那么，在促进基础设施领域互联互通方面，中国班列逆势增长是一个典型的案例。据统计，去年中国班列共开行12400列，同比增长50%，发送集装箱113.5万标箱，同比增长56%，通达欧洲城市90多个，涉及20几个国家。
When it comes to improving interconnectivity through infrastructure, there's no better example than the China-Europe freight train. According to statistics, the China-Europe freight train conducted 12,400 trips in 2020, up 50%, transporting 1.135 million containers, up 56%, reaching over 90 cities in more than 20 countries.
在有效稳定全球产业链供应链方面，“一带一路”倡议的重要作用同样进一步显现。去年相比全球投资贸易大幅萎缩，“一带一路”相关国家的投资贸易呈现出强大韧性。前几年互联互通建设成果在其中发挥了重要作用。
When it comes to instilling stability into the global value chain and the supply chain, the BRI is also significantly effective. In contrast with the shrinking trade around the world last year, owing to the building up of infrastructure interconnectivity over the past few years, trade among BRI countries was highly resilient, and such resilience in turn contributes to the recovery of the global value chain and supply chain that took a hit from the pandemic.
共建“一带一路”有利于加快恢复受疫情影响的产业链供应链，为地区和全球经济复苏注入强大动力。
Injects strong momentum into the economic recovery of various regions and the whole world.
那么，中国跟巴基斯坦建设的经济走廊是“一带一路”合作的标杆性项目，已经取得丰硕成果，逐步构建起以中巴经济走廊为纽带，以瓜达尔港交通基础设施、能源、产业为重点的1+4合作布局，有力促进了域内国家间经济合作，改善了地区安全局势，更好惠及民生。
As His Excellency Zahur Ahmed said, CPEC is a flagship project of BRI cooperation, a project that has achieved fruitful results, a 1+4 cooperation structure, with CPEC as the link and the Guangdong Port transport infrastructure, energy and industries as a cooperation focuses. Is strongly promoting economic cooperation among regional countries, improving regional security and benefiting the people of the region.
在当前在贸易保护主义抬头，这个国际多边贸易体制受到严重挑战的情况下，“一带一路”合作取得亮眼成绩，再次证明多边主义的重要性。
In the world of rising protectionism and mounting challenges against the multilateral trade system, BRI cooperation is a shining success story of multilateralism.
那么，我们真诚欢迎包括北欧在内的世界各国积极对接“一带一路”倡议，希望有更多北欧企业在协商一致、合作共赢的基础上，积极参与包括中巴经济走廊在内的“一带一路”建设，共享“一带一路”的发展红利。
We sincerely welcome all countries of the world, including the Nordic countries, to actively connect with the BRI and hope that more Nordic companies will actively join the BRI on the basis of consultation and consensus, as well as mutual benefits to enjoy the dividends of building the BRI together.
我们预祝这次研讨会取得丰硕成果。谢谢大家。Thank you very much.
Let me conclude by wishing the webinar a great success. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. May I request His Excellency Mr. Ahmed Farouk, Ambassador of Pakistan to Denmark, to present his introductory remarks, please.
Thank you very much, Ghulam Mustafa Sahab, Ambassador Zahoor Ahmed, Mr. Atif Bukhari, Chairman BOI, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome all participants in today's event, especially those from Denmark. My special thanks to Ms. Lena Hansen, Head of Department, Export and Innovation, Trade Council at the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who would be giving a presentation later on how the Danish government supports businesses to expand their export and overseas presence. Bilateral relations between Denmark and Pakistan are cordial, and this provides an ideal opportunity for promotion of economic linkages. And this has been my main focus since arriving in Denmark over a year ago. Despite the challenges that have been presented by the COVID-19 pandemic, I've tried to reach out to a large number of Danish companies and institutions with the objective of promoting trade and investment. And several of these companies are participating in today's event. These include Bestseller, which is the largest importer of Pakistani textiles in Denmark and perhaps in the Nordic region. We have Grundfos, Linek, Foss, Danfoss, Arla, the whole company, Tigerium Pakistan Limited, which has local offices in Pakistan and whose CEO, Mr. Jesper, will also be speaking about his experience of doing business in Pakistan. And then we have Jimco, Amon Gas, and Renew Energy. So I would like to acknowledge them and thank them for their presence in today's event and look forward to their active participation in the Q&A session. I've also had very positive interactions with the Danske Industry, which is the Association of Danish Industries. They arranged a webinar last year where I made a presentation about the business and investment opportunities in Pakistan. We are in discussion with DI to organize another event focused on opportunities in the information technology sector. I would like to acknowledge the presence of their representative, Mr. Evan, in today's event. The Danish Investment Fund, IFU, is also here. IFU has had a long relationship with Pakistan and has invested in a number of commercial projects, especially cement plants, and we look forward to their continued participation in investment in Pakistan. IFU, through its Danida Sustainable Infrastructure Finance, currently is supporting the construction of a large wastewater treatment plant in Faisalabad. A similar project is also under consideration for Lahore. I would like to acknowledge also the presence of Asia House. Asia House supports Asian embassies in Denmark to link up with Danish businesses and offers its venue to them for organizing events. We look forward to cooperating with them as soon as the COVID-19 situation allows that to happen. The participants from Pakistan will be presenting the business and investment opportunities in Pakistan, especially in the specialized economic zones that have been established under CPEC and other SEZs. I would just quickly like to touch upon a few areas that are of particular relevance for Denmark. First is renewable energy, which is a key focus of our bilateral interactions. During the second round of the Pakistan-Denmark bilateral political consultations, which were held in November last year, it was agreed that both sides would work towards signing a framework agreement for green partnership. Discussions are underway for defining the areas that could be included in this agreement. Pakistan, just for your information, has recently approved an alternative renewable energy policy, which has set ambitious targets of 20% energy from renewables in the energy mix by 2025 and 30% by 2030. Within this, the solar to wind ratio is 70-30. So this provides Denmark and other Nordic countries with significant opportunities for investing in Pakistan. We are in discussions in Denmark with Vestas, which is the largest wind turbine manufacturer in the world. Vestas is keen on entering the Pakistani wind energy market, and further modalities are being worked out with our Ministry of Power. The entry of Vestas would obviously provide opportunities for other Danish companies having allied technologies to participate in the renewable energy sector in Pakistan. Pakistan is also keen to benefit from Danish technical expertise in renewable energy sector, for which discussions are taking place between the Danish Energy Agency and power sector stakeholders in Pakistan. Then biogas is another avenue which is being explored with the two companies that are participating in today's webinar, Amon Gas and Renew Energy. Pakistan is an energy deficient country, and our reliance on expensive imported gas and other fuels has increased over the years. So the development of a local biogas industry would help us in reducing dependence on imported sources. Pakistan is a large consumer market with a population of over 200 million people and a growing middle class. And despite being the fourth largest milk producer in the world, Pakistan still imports dairy products, especially powdered milk. Therefore, agriculture and dairy sector of Pakistan offers a lot of opportunities for investment by Danish companies as well as other Nordic companies in all aspects of the value chain. So, which includes milk production, cold chain, and the processing of value-added products. In view of the paucity of time, I will conclude my remarks here. I thank all the Danish stakeholders and other participants for their presence in today's event, and we look forward to continuing our interaction with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Board of Investment Pakistan is a vibrant organization working to facilitate foreign investors. We are honored by the presence of its chairman, Mr. Atif R. Bukhari. Sir, please present your introductory remarks and welcome the guests.
Thank you. Excellencies and distinguished guests, a very good morning. It is a matter of profound pleasure for me to welcome the participants to this virtual roadshow on CPEC, SEZs, and BRI. And at the outset, let me also express my gratitude to all our online audiences for their participation. Can somebody mute?
It's Miss Aruj.
So I think it's just finished, so I'll go on. Yeah. Let me just start again. This event provides an opportunity to interact with each other and share our experiences with the objective to find ways to promote, populate, and develop industrial cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, currently Pakistan is pursuing policies that support privatization and deregulation of the economy to promote business-to-business and people-to-people ventures. The industrial sector is a catalyst for higher productivity, innovation, employment generation, and export. It allows countries like Pakistan to make optimal use of their scarce resources and increase the export of manufactured goods, which contribute to the foreign exchange and leading towards improvement in balance of payments. Vital to promoting industrialization is the development of special economic zones that are the strongest and most effective tool available to accelerate industrialization by offering the required infrastructure and utilities on competitive rates. SEZs play a key role in attracting foreign direct investment, increasing exports, ensuring technology transfer, generating wide range economic activities, and helping in creation of job opportunities. Like other nations, Pakistan too opted for SEZ developments to accrue maximum benefits of its potential in diverse fields, along with the help of our friendly country, which is China. Ladies and gentlemen, at present, Pakistan and China are working together to steadily advance China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is the crown jewel of BRI initiative. CPEC has been planned in 3 phases to be completed till 2030, with the aim to pave way for rapid industrialization, uplifting social economic development, creating investment opportunities, and providing massive job opportunities. As the first phase of CPEC is about to conclude, the second phase has set into motion that envisages industrial cooperation through development of special economic zones and business-to-business interactions in order to promote grassroots level industrial cooperation. CPEC industrial cooperation is a long-term endeavor, and it is picking up pace. Being the lead agency on industrial cooperation under CPEC since 2016, Board of Investment has made notable progress. Now that the second phase of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor has commenced, the BOI would continue to take lead on investment, promotion, facilitation, and industrial cooperation. The first phase of CPEC required leading role of the government, while the second phase calls for enhanced role of industrialists, the private sector, and the business community. Here, the government's role would remain that of a facilitator. But having said that, the government still has an arduous task of devising effective policies, laws, and efficient infrastructure to facilitate business-to-business and people-to-people linkages. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to share with you all that CPEC Industrial Cooperation is an all-inclusive in its scope and open to third-party participation. I would like to invite the business communities from Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and rest of the European Union to come and invest in Pakistan's economic sectors. It is noteworthy to mention that the government has already launched conducive policies such as electric vehicle policy, mobile manufacturing, construction sector policies, sole enterprise and private sector special economic zones regulations made in 2020 to pave way for investment in Pakistan. Pakistan follows a liberal investment regime, and facilitation is its foremost cornerstone for instilling confidence in investors and creating a conducive environment to attract local and foreign investment. The Board of Investment Pakistan is mandated to promote, encourage, and facilitate both local and foreign investment. In this regard, several initiatives are being undertaken by Pakistan, such as ease of doing business reform, regulatory reforms, structural and taxation reforms, and also availability of energy inputs at regionally competitive prices. Pakistan accords top priority to the development of special economic zones under CPEC. Currently, out of the 9 CPEC SEZs, 2 are in advanced stage of development, including Rashakai SEZ in KPK and Allama Iqbal Industrial City in Faisalabad. You will have presentations from their respective SEZ sectors on this one going forward. The Honorable Prime Minister of Pakistan himself witnessed the signing ceremony of Rashakai Development Agreement, which is a testament to the fact that the government is fully committed to accelerate industrialization in the country for sustained economic prosperity. Attractive fiscal incentives are being offered under SEZs, such as 10-year tax holiday and custom duty exemption on import of capital goods to both the developer and enterprises housed in the SEZs. Let me conclude by affirming that a world of opportunities is just a step away. And once again, I would like to thank you for all being here and harvest the benefit of industrial cooperation together and leads towards a bright and industrialized future ahead. In the end, I cordially invite Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, and other European companies to invest in potentially viable sectors and utilize the opportunities available in SEZs against the backdrop of a very liberal investment regime. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Foreign businesses rely on a strong local market and ability of the local market to integrate in global value chains. Ministry of Commerce Pakistan is doing a remarkable job to provide enabling environment in this context. May I request now Additional Secretary Commerce Mr. Humair Khan to please spotlight this aspect.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen from the Ministry of Commerce in Islamabad. My name is Humair Kareem. I am Additional Secretary, Ministry of Commerce. It is a pleasure to be on board for this very important roadshow and conference. I'd like to thank and extend my gratitude and greetings to the Ambassador of Pakistan in Sweden, Mr. Ambassador Zahoor Ahmed. I think, sir, this is a great job that you've done in collaboration with the other embassies and the organizations in Sweden. I would like to thank all the participants, particularly the Ambassador of China and Sweden, Mr. Gui Gongyu, the Ambassador of Sweden, Pakistan, Mr. Henrik Persson, the Chairman Board of Investment, Mr. Atif Bukhari, Mr. Anders Tofte of Business Sweden, Mr. Ole Henner of Innovation Norway, Ms. Lina Gandios, the Head of Danish Trade Development and President KCCI. It's a pleasure to be here and addressing this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a matter of great delight to inform that the trade environment in Pakistan is improving rapidly, supplemented by the growth in local economy and acceleration of exports, especially in the fields of food processing, textiles, minerals, auto parts, light engineering, and auto industry. Pakistan has the geographical advantage of being the regional launchpad for supplying products to parts of Central Asia and South Asia. Pakistan has recently embarked on the road of economic development and regional connectivity by forging and enhancing trading links with major regional players. In this regard, Pakistan and Afghanistan are renegotiating the transit trade agreement, and high-level exchanges have already taken place recently. Pakistan is also in the process of negotiating with Uzbekistan for a transit trade agreement, enhancing further trade with Central as part of enhancing further trade with Central Asia. Pakistan is also upgrading the rail and road infrastructure link to enhance connectivity with Afghanistan and Central Asian Republic states. Pakistan presents an ideal platform for foreign businesses to be part of global value chain as the country has decided to increase its access to markets of Central Asia. Pakistan has initiated trade facilitation for connectivity with Central Asian republics and is in the process of finalizing the transshipment policy. Pakistan and Uzbekistan are also working on a transit trade agreement to facilitate trade of goods through roads of railways. The Ministry of Pakistan has the potential of substituting manufacturing activities in regional countries which are shifting to other regional developing countries as China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is an infrastructure product which aims at promoting regional connectivity through Gwadar port. Pakistan intends to develop Gwadar as a trade hub for enhancing regional connectivity. The facilities at Port Qasim and Gwadar presents huge opportunities for transit trade and enhanced regional connectivity. Let me also inform that Pakistan is a signatory of the UN Customs Convention on the International Transport of Goods under the cover of TIR CARNET and is in the process of implementation. The Chairman Board of Investment has already informed of the various investment opportunities that are available. 9 special economic zones to be developed along CPEC project are open for investment from all trading partners and aim at the economic development industrialization of Pakistan. The Ministry of Commerce, ladies and gentlemen, assures of its support to the companies from Sweden and Scandinavian countries who want to expand businesses and investment into Pakistan. One of the companies from Sweden, namely Ecoland, is already working jointly with the Packages Mall in Pakistan. Presence and availability of the representative of the Ministry of Commerce in Stockholm, Embassy of Pakistan in Stockholm, the Embassy of Pakistan in Stockholm, who are readily available for all kinds of assistance and support that is required by the company, and their requests would be promptly addressed. Given the current scenario and the bright opportunities that Pakistan is offering, we encourage the companies to come and invest in Pakistan. It would be a win-win situation for both countries, enhancing bilateral ties as well. As you're aware, there is a sizable Pakistani diaspora present in Sweden and the remaining Scandinavian countries. They can also play an important role in strengthening the ties between the two countries. Lastly, the tremendous potential that exists for tourism in both countries also needs to be exploited. The government of Pakistan has undertaken major initiatives to attract foreign tourists, and it is hoped that tourists from Sweden and neighboring countries would be able to visit Pakistan soon after the pandemic situation improves globally. Moreover, Pakistan can also benefit from the Swedish experience for development of tourism in Pakistan through the participation and investment of private companies from Sweden. With that, I'd like to end with my speech. I thank you all for this patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Humair Kareem, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Commerce, Pakistan. May I request now Mr. Sami Saab, Director General, SEZ's Board of National Pakistan, to please highlight the incentives available in special economic zones.
Thank you. Can you please enable the screen share option?
You can share your screen, please.
The option is disabled at your part.
Please check again.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it's visible.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today, I feel privileged to speak with such an august gathering, which is keen and committed to economic uplift and industrialization of Pakistan. Let me start with my presentation with the words of the Prime Minister. This is a time to invest in Pakistan. Don't miss the boat. You can well imagine with a bird's eye view that Pakistan is one of the top 10 countries having natural resources. Pakistan is the second largest salt reserve, third largest copper reserves, fifth largest gold reserves, fifth largest gold reserve, fourth largest cotton producer, fourth largest milk producer, eighth largest wheat producer, ninth largest meat producer. So you can well imagine the potential of Pakistan with these few figures. Pakistan is also the home of multinational business organizations. A few of them I have shown here. You can see it on the screen. One of the many options that Pakistan possesses is the special economic zones, which is basically the main topic of my presentation. The SEZ in Pakistan is being governed under the Special Economic Zones Act 2012, and special economic zones in Pakistan are basically the geographically defined and delimited areas which have been approved and notified by the BOA. Special economic zones in Pakistan can be established in three modes: public sector, private sector, and public-private partnership mode. So you can see that private sector SEZs can be also established in Pakistan. So this is one of the opportunity for the foreign as well as the local investors, that they can establish their own SEZs and they can come into the business of the SEZs. This is the SEZ's governance structure. It's basically the three-tier structure: federal government, then the provincial government, and the SEZ's committees at the zone level. And all these tiers are basically committed to facilitate the zone developer and the zone enterprises. With respect to the role of Board of Investment, Board of Investments is basically responsible for coordinating all activities pertaining to SEZs, from zone applications, from processing of zone applications to the international and domestic promotion of the investments, and to provide all kind of facilitation, including processing of additional incentives in the selective SEZs if they are the high-tech SEZs. This is basically a SEZ's approval flow chart. You can say that whenever any private developer or a public sector entity wants to establish an SEZ, they give an application, and that application is thereafter assessed at the level of the Board of Investment, and thereafter notified it, and that specific area which has a minimum area of 50 acres is notified as a special economic zones. Currently, Pakistan has 22 special economic zones. A few of them are at an advanced stage, while some of them are at an initial stage. Two of the SEZs established under the CPEC BRI are at a quite advanced stage. One of them is the Rashakai and the other is in Alam-Iqbal SEZ. These are the 9 special economic zones that we are being developed under the umbrella of the CPEC. These are the few salient features of the investment policy, which are necessary to highlight here. Pakistan provides the equal treatment to the local as well as to the foreign investors. All economic sectors are open for the foreign direct investment, except a few restricted sectors that include the arms and ammunitions, high explosives, and radioactive substances. Others are all open. We don't have any minimum foreign equity requirement. 100% foreign ownership is allowed in Pakistan. Similarly, visa on arrival facility is also provided. Facilitation to the companies are also provided by the Board of Investment for establishing branch and liaison offices. Can you mute the mic? Dr. Usman, may I request you to kindly mute the mic? Through the SEZs, we also provide the industrial clusterizations. Pakistan also provides 100% repatriation of profits, capitals, and dividends. And similarly, investment protection is also covered under the law in the SEZs. These are the incentive package which we are offering in the SEZs. We have categorized the incentives into the 2 categories, one with respect to the developers and the other with respect to the zone enterprises. For developers, we have exempted all capital goods which will be essential for the establishment of our zone. So custom duty exemption is will be available to the developers for the import of capital goods. Similarly, all developers of the zones will be entitled to get 10 years income tax holiday. So this is a good opportunity for the foreign investors to think about the establishment of SEZs in Pakistan. Similarly, with respect to the zone enterprises, Pakistan provides custom duty exemption on import of capital goods. Similarly, every entity which established its business into the SEZs in Pakistan will be entitled to get 10 years income tax holiday. For the provision of utilities, federal and provincial governments are responsible to ensure all utilities, including electricity, gas, and water, to the doorstep of the enterprise, and developer is responsible to provide all this. This is the definition of the capital goods. You can see that it's a very broader term, very broadly defined terminology. So almost it covers almost all the essential items that a zone enterprise can require for the establishment of their plant, their industry. It includes plant, machinery, equipment, spares, and accessories. All is custom duty exempted. Recently, government has also taken a very liberal step to promote SECs, and it's basically the Sole Enterprise SECs Regulations 2020. With these regulations, Pakistani government has allowed to establish even a single company SECs. Now, a single company, if meets certain criteria, can also enjoy the benefit of the SECs, even though it is outside the premises of any recently established SEC. This is the minimum requirement policy parameters for the sole enterprise or the single company SECs. You can see that for this purpose, the company has to meet the 30% financing through equity. If any company is committed to start commercial production within 24 months and committed to meet one of the criteria, either its investment is $50 million or it is committed to export at least $75 million in the next 5 years. So that company is basically entitled to get the status of the single company SECs. Some of the relaxations are also given in this policy in certain designated areas and in 5 import substitution sectors. These are the 68 districts where 50% relaxation has been given in the policy parameters. So in these areas, if any company is ready to invest only $25 million, Board of Investment can consider its proposal to grant the SEC status to that specific company, provided it meets certain criteria. Similarly, these are the top 5 importing sectors. If the company is committed or having a business in these 5 sectors, so the minimum investment requirement, that is $50 million, is also reduced to only to the $25 million. So these are the big initiatives to promote investments in the country. To invite more FDI, now all the applications are being processed through the SEC's modules, and the link of SEC modules you can see here is also available on the BOI website. So all companies which are interested in Pakistan, they can only log on this link and can file their application to get the plots in the SEC. So now the procedure is very easy. And BOI is definitely here to facilitate all type of investments. So thank you very much. Thank you. This was all about the SECs. I hope the next speakers can also enlighten the audience with respect to the other opportunities available in the SECs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sami. Can you please exit your screen share? Okay, thank you very much. SECs are managed by autonomous bodies running on modern lines. We have with us Mr. Hassan Daud Bhatt. He is CEO of BOIT KPK. He would apprise us about ground level management and working of SECs. Sir, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on wherever you are. It's a great honor to be part of this webinar, and the level of participation. I'm just reading the numbers now. It's more than 128. So that speaks of the volume of interest and the great work that I think Ambassador Zahoor and his team and all the other colleagues from the embassies have worked. I would also like to make mention of the Chinese embassy also and the ambassador for highlighting the important features and how China is looking at BRI in times to come. Sir, I would take about 8 minutes for a short presentation, followed by a 2 minutes video to ensure that you guys come and visit Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And earlier it was known as the land of opportunities, and now it is known as the land of growing opportunities. So with this, I'll share my presentation with you, ladies and gentlemen. And is it visible to you all?
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, as was highlighted earlier, this phase of China-Pakistan economic corridor involves trade and market access, it involves industrial development and global value chains, socio-economic development and poverty alleviation, agriculture, a blue economy, and regional connectivity. So, except for perhaps a little bit of blue economy, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa features in almost all and is one of the most important province of Pakistan, not because that I represent Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, but various reasons which I'll highlight a little later. So we are the gateway to Central Asia, and we are the neighboring province of Afghanistan. And as we speak, we are working on opening new border crossings with Afghanistan so that the trade and commerce activity along the border and also what we produce here in Pakistan and especially in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa could be exported out of Pakistan, not just to Afghanistan, but to the Central Asian Republic. We have a population of about 35 million plus, and I assure you these are hardworking, pragmatic people who are willing to contribute to the not just to the Pakistan's economy, but have historically been working outside Pakistan and have contributed to respective GDPs. It has a area of about 741 square kilometers, and it has 35 districts and 7 divisions. And with the merger of newly merged districts, we have great potential of mines and minerals and other areas, which I'll highlight a little later. We have huge agriculture base. We have a lot of potential, and I'll share this presentation with my colleagues in the embassy, and I would request them to share it with with all those who are interested. We have huge potential of gemstones, mines and minerals. We are blessed with water, which produces and has the potential to produce around 30,000 megawatt of energy, and we're working as one of our priority areas. And we have gemstones and mining as one of the areas where a lot of exports is done. We also have a huge resource base for horticulture, livestock, and tourism and hospitality, which are our priority area. And besides that, since we are talking about with countries, and this webinar mainly showcases our relationship with China and also with the European Union countries and states, I would also like to highlight IT and education and vocational training is another area where we would like to have investment. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would just take about 2 minutes to highlight what are our aspirations and how are we looking at CPEC and also global investment to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So, as far as China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is concerned, and by the way, I forgot to mention my friend Askari Sahab, who has been very active in arranging such webinars on BRI and CPEC. So, with this said, what had happened earlier in last 5 years, and in those 5 years, earlier 2 years was spent on understanding the kind of cooperation we have. In the past 3 years, the level of cooperation within China-Pakistan Economic Corridor and the industrial development that we envisage through this cooperation has grown profoundly. And from G to G prism, we are now moving into B2B cooperation, and we're looking at areas that are flash in front of you, from hospitality, logistics, housing, mining, IT and electronics, apparel and textile, and several others. And based on this, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, our pillar industries, starting from petrochemical, based on our natural endowment, we are also looking at automobile and related industries to come and benefit, because as the chairman BI also highlighted, we are a huge consumer market, and perhaps any investor who's looking at as a market is looking at efficiency, is looking at cheap labor, and is looking at natural resources. I think Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is the place, and it's ideally suited based on the location that I earlier mentioned. We are working on tourism, hydel energy, infrastructure, electronics, agriculture, livestock. And all this done is to attract foreign direct investment, balance our current account deficit, revenue generation, job creation. And we're looking at industry which is export oriented. Import substitution could take place, technology transfer, and also we want to highlight the value chain, and linking ourselves with the not just the regional value chain but also with the global value chains. And I perhaps Chairman Bia also highlighted this. So what we are looking at, as I said earlier, we're looking at investment industry which helps us to substitute imports, promote export, create jobs, direct and indirect. And we're looking at joint ventures in automobile, iron, steel, textile, petrochemical, and all the other. And for that, what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're crafting incentives, not that the ones that were highlighted earlier by my colleague Sami Saab, but also at provincial level, we're looking at our policies and policy framework through which we can have incentives that are efficient, that are performance-based, that are harmonized with our national investment policies, that are non-discriminatory, and more importantly, regionally competitive. And I heard in the introductory phase, we have colleagues from Laos, and we, in our preparation for this, worked on Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, in order to, and also Bangladesh, in order to work on incentives that can attract my friends from Europe and beyond. So in the past 1 year since I've joined, we worked on our industrial policy. We have approved, the cabinet has approved our industrial policies, which offers a lot of incentives. We have also worked on commerce and trade strategy, which looks at commerce as a major component of economic growth, and looks at how we can attract new markets for our SME sector also to promote. Besides this, we are looking at, we have worked on our investment promotion strategy, and that is in the process of approval, and hopefully by next week we will have this available. So a lot of work is being happening, and all this is happening is to attract you, ladies and gentlemen, to come and look at Khyber Pakhtunkhwa as a zone, as a place where your investments are safe, where you can make profit and also contribute to the socio-economic development of our province. So as Sami Saab highlighted earlier, we have Rashakai Special Economic Zone and also Moman Marble City as part of the CPEC framework. And these two, ladies and gentlemen, these two zones are extremely, extremely important for us for actually being a stimulus to our industrial growth, being a stimulus to our economic growth. And for that, we are working on a lot of attractiveness for Rashakai. And the key features are, ladies and gentlemen, it's based on an SPV, which has China Roads and Bridges Corporation, which has KP ESMIC, which is Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Economic Zone Development Authority. We have, I represent KP CISA, and also the objective is to have an SPV which can attract and help produce promotion for economic growth. We also have, ladies and gentlemen, a total area of 1,000 acres, and out of this, 778 acres are for leasable, and we are asking for a lot of, and this has been linked digitally so that this investment flow can shape up. The development would happen in 3 phases. First phase, we'll have development on 247 acres, and then in second phase, as investment flows increases, we'll have 355 acres, and then following to that would be 399 acres. Ladies and gentlemen, as Sami Saab has highlighted, our policy, National SCZ Act highlights the fact that the utilities are to be provided at the front of the special economic zone at 0 point, and as we speak, provision of electricity for 10 megawatt has been provisioned, and for 210 remaining would be provisioned through government resources, and also gas would be provisioned by November this year. The access roads have been completed and almost 80% completed, and we are expecting groundbreaking We had arranged groundbreaking 27th of March, but because of COVID restrictions, those have been postponed, and perhaps soon after our holy month, we'll have this arranged. What we are having within the Rashakai is based on, since it's a project which is important to demonstrate government's willingness, not just in terms of industrialization, but having sustainable and green industry in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. We are looking at combined effluent plant. We're looking at security system, plotting based on the requirement, and incentives, ladies and gentlemen, which I have highlighted and Sami highlighted. We can also further work on based on the investment that you do. And I assure you that the Board of Investment at Khyber Pakhtunkhwa would provide you the kind of hand-holding that you expect. And as an investment attraction body, we will provide you the one window facilitation. And if you could go to our website, www.kpboit.com.pk, you would find all these highlighted in great detail. So what we are looking at financial impact, we're looking at around 200,000 jobs, with around 50,000 direct jobs. We're looking at sectors that I've highlighted, and this is how the development flow will take phase. The main road is in front of you. So I'm quickly moving these, and I'll share these slides with you. And this is the recent visit of the Chinese ambassador and our chairman CPEC just last week, looking at the possibilities of how to fast track this investment. And as I said, this is extremely important for us. And entire government machinery of industries is focused on this project as we speak. Besides this, ladies and gentlemen, within CPEC, we are also highlighting some other areas of mutual cooperation. And I think my friends and colleagues who are in Europe could look at these possibilities, because agriculture and livestock is an area where you have excellence, and we would like to shift that to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, where there's huge natural endowment for this. Tourism is another area. This is the priority sector, not just at the federal government level, but Prime Minister of Pakistan and also the Chief Minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is focused on this. We are introducing a novel idea of integrated tourism zones in 4 beautiful sites, and I would at this point say seeing is believing, but I would encourage my colleagues to come and look as soon as the travel restrictions are lifted, and we will provide you all the facilities and information that is required. Similarly, in mines and mineral sectors, we are blessed with gold, placer gold, emerald mines, and in my website, if you'll go, you'll find details about the opportunities, and especially in marble sector, where we have great natural endowment of white marble, one of the best in the world. And we're looking at possibilities of research and development, marketing, and value addition in terms of this sector. And I would encourage my colleagues, investors, to come and look at this as possible area. Due possible time, I would skip these slides, but we are also looking at light engineering, and because there's a huge consumer market, we're looking at cellular phones, we're looking at light engineering consumer products, and I think this is also an area where we can have joint ventures, and we can have third-party participation, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Board of Investment would facilitate any sort of joint ventures and marriage between investors, not just within Pakistan, but also China and Europe. Iron and steel and cement is also an area because of the affordable Naya Pakistan housing scheme. There's a huge demand of iron, steel, cement, and all industry related to housing and infrastructure development, because there is a gap of infrastructure in Pakistan, and we would like to bridge this through investment flow coming from abroad. So last but not the least, I would quickly play the video so that Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and
Thank you, Mr.
come and
Hassan
invest
Daud.
in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa.
Great, great. Thank you, Mr. Hassan Daud Sahab. FADMIC is one of the most successful SCG in Pakistan. We have with us its chairman, Mia Kashif Ishfaq. Sir, please go ahead and highlight the opportunities available in FADMIC. Kashif Saab, we can't hear you.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. Excellency and dear friends, distinguished guests, everyone, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mia Kashif Ishfaq, and I am the chairman for a company. It's a public-owned company named FEDMIC, Faisalabad Industrial Estate Development and Management Company. And this FEDMIC company was formed in 2004, and it is the largest industrial zone development company in Pakistan. We are based in province of Punjab, and we have 4 zones, SCZs working in Punjab, which this company is running. And the good thing is that we are very strategic. We have very strategic location in Punjab. We are just 1 hour and 20 minutes from Lahore by road if we travel, and we are along the motorway. We have 2 motorways connecting to our zones. One motorway which is coming from Islamabad going to Multan. We are right on that motorway, and the other one is going from Lahore to Multan. So both the motorways connects to our zones. So I like to share a small presentation with you guys. If you can please allow me to share this with you. This, in fact, I just spoke about this. Another important area I like to share here. We have one of the zones which come under the CPEC, namely Illama Iqbal Industrial City. And the total area we cover is about 8,000 acres. We have just across the road, our older zone is M3 Industrial City, which is about 4,300 acres. And the new one is 3,300 acres. And then we have one business zone of 300 acres. So it become 8,000 acres. This is the largest area we own here in Punjab. And this is the map on which you can see the location of Faisalabad. Faisalabad is a 3rd biggest city in Pakistan, and it is called Manchester of Pakistan. It's a textile city. Most of the textile in Pakistan is being produced in Faisalabad, and we are away from the city about 35 minutes, 35 kilometers. So now our old industry, they are also shifting gradually to these zones, as well as we are inviting new industry from all over the world, especially in this new CPEC zone, Illama Iqbal. We have a sufficient space, and we have dedicated 1,000 acres, especially for the Chinese who will relocate their industry from China to Pakistan. As you see in the screen, that we have these 4 zones currently working under this company, and it's in Punjab, Faisalabad, and Faisalabad city. And then this is the detail when we started this value addition, and then M3, and then Illama Iqbal, and business zone. Business zone is a very, very attractive option we have. We are developing expo center over there, techno park, hotels, apartments, a country and golf club, technical university, many commercial opportunities, outlet mall we are developing there. So there are a lot of opportunities in business zone also. These are the incentive already we have discussed. Board of investment team, they have already highlighted. We are a SCZ, and we have zero duty on import of raw material and machinery, and then we have 10-year income tax holiday. And the very good option we have is that when you purchase land, you just need to pay 15%, and rest of the amount you have to pay in 16 installments over the 4-year period. So if, for example, anyone comes and invest here, just pay deposit 15%, and rest you pay in installments. So in fact, you develop your industry, you earn from here, and then pay to our company. So it's a very, very reasonable uh, uh, offer of installments, and also our plot price is very, very reasonable. Our policy is just when you get the allotment of plot, within 6 months you have to start the construction, and within 2 years you have to come into the production. This is our policy. We have complete state-of-the-art infrastructure, and the good thing is that we have bound-to-bound status. For example, any customer, any industry, they would like to bring the raw material from anywhere of the any part of the world. They can bring the raw material duty free. They can assemble, manufacture, and send back to export to anywhere in the world. And the most important thing is that there was earlier there was an impression that especially overseas Pakistani, when they come and they like to invest in Pakistan, so they always have this impression that when we come and we start the business, there are a lot of obstacles they face into government and other departments. Now we have a complete one window service center. There are 17 various departments where we facilitate to our customer, ensure that they get the electricity, gas, all the NOCs and MAP approvals. We have a dedicated team for our customer, like a marketing team, train team, who facilitate as a focal person to all our all our businesses, our industry, all our customers. So this is one very, very important thing, that if you are here with us, you have you do not worry for anything. For all the issues, we will be taking care of. And this which I was telling you, we are this black, if you can see this motorway M4 and M3, we connecting to both the motorways. We have a super express highway. We are developing a cargo airport. We have a shuttle train coming from city to our zone. We have dry port nearby, and railway track is going through our zone. So we're developing a dry port, setup for a train, through train goods to be shipped to Karachi, and from there shipment to all over the world. Then we have two different interchanges on the motorway. So there are many, many options we have in this service zone. And in infrastructure, we have like model police station, disaster management cell, we have a road network, solid waste management. We are also investing on captive. We have some options of captive power, which we are going to install in our zones to lower the cost of energy, in order to be more competitive, with the international market. We're planning to have some captive energy options. So in that case, we will have better energy prices and uninterrupted energy prices. We are safe zone, we safe city, we solid waste management, we have complete solution. So these are the some of the features of our infrastructure. And then we have different blocks of Chinese, GCC, Turkish, Europe, US. And then we have a complete chain of technical education institutes, where because in our these 8,000 acres, we expect about 500,000 skilled labor in next 3 to 4 years. So we have been collaborating with all these Pakistani different technical institutes, where we will be producing the technical people, skilled people to facilitate the upcoming industry. And then if we come into industry, we have a weaving city concept. It's like a plug and play. We develop your complete sheds. You just come and install your power looms and start working here. It's a rental lease model. Then we have dedicated 200-acre health city where we are accommodating. We are developing a DRAP, like policy for this health city. Ministry of Science and Technology is helping us. Our health-based products are mostly from, we import in Pakistan. So our government is very keen to, bring the investor from the world, who comes here. Like we have six already industry who are coming here. Like one is from USA. They are going to start syringes and needles manufacturing here. One of the companies going to develop stents and catheters and other stuff. And many other companies we are inviting for the health care products. So this health city 200 dedicated area is particularly for these type of customer. And then we are developing apparel park, vertical buildings, state of the art buildings, plug and play for the stitching units. Like any company, they just bring their machines and stuff and they can start immediately their business in our zone. This is one of the initiative we are taking care. And then light engineering city for 300 acre, and then furniture city we're developing, because from our zone only 16-kilometer away we have a complete furniture city called Chanute. So we're bringing all the technical support from there, and the manufacturer of small and medium size, we are facilitating them and developing this furniture city. And then we have a complete logistic park where we're developing warehouses and all the facilities for logistic arrangements. Then we have commercial area, commercial plots, country and golf club, as I said earlier. So we have lot of opportunities and facilities under one roof, one area over there in Faisalabad SCC. This is a map of our Illama Iqbal, particularly which comes under CPEC. The price is for this zone is about $58,000 per acre. So minimum plot size is about 2 acre, and up to any size you can choose as per the business requirement. So in this $58,000, you have to pay just 15% advance, and you can get the possession and start your work, and rest you pay in 4-year installments. Some of the customers we already have inside the zone, especially this is a new zone, Illama Iqbal, the CPEC one. These are the customers, we're from China, from for different sectors. And now a good thing is that even you can register your application while sitting outside through online portal system. You can, we will send you this presentation and the information. Easily you can go and check all the incentives and details, and also you can book your plot. And we also have like a complete in-house setup of marketing team who will facilitate you. If you send us any message in the like online system, they will connect you, they will give you all the information, they will support you. If even you are sitting there, we going to help you here for the registration of your company in SECP, opening of bank account, other options of like NTN and other stuff. So we have a complete team to help you for registration of your company. And these are the sectors so far we have covered in our zones. You can see we cover mostly all the important sectors. And this is the business zone connecting to both the zone. One is M3 and the other one is Illama Iqbal. So this comes next to these both zones. This is what I was telling earlier, like Country and Golf Club, Expo Center, apartment building, Techno Park. So this zone will support to both the zones. Detail of the prices and it's this presentation. I can email you the same thing which I just spoke. And these are the paddle park concept, a complete detail. I'll send you the presentation. I request if you can send it to everyone so that they can study later. This is a concept of furniture city, health city, and one window service center. And then we also planning this. It's one of our new initiative. We are developing a new zone of on 1500 acre. It will also be SCZ. This is an agro-based industrial park. This we are into phase of R&D right now, and because we are an agriculture country, so we have a lot of opportunities. We import a lot of products from abroad. So we are mainly focusing in first phase import substitution, and then the export of agriculture-based products. That's all from me. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mia Kashif sir. Very strong case, in fact. Can you please exit your screen?
And sorry, I just want to share here, like I'll send you my email, contact, my staff detail, and this presentation. So you can please share with them. Anyone needs any help, any information, you're always welcome. We also have one office in Lahore. If anyone comes to Lahore, it is very convenient. We can take them to our zone. We can facilitate them in our Lahore office. We have temporary offices in our Lahore office. If they need to come and sit and use our office, boardroom facility, anything, we are right in the center of the city, Gulbarg, Lahore. So
That's
this is one of the
that's
other.
great.
Thank you
That's
very.
fantastic. That would be very helpful, in fact.
Thank you very much once
Thank you
again.
very much. Business Sweden is playing an important part when it comes to providing support and assistance to Swedish companies for overseas market expansion. We have with us Commissioner for Business Sweden, Mr. Anders Tofte, and he would be spotlighting these support measures that Business Sweden is providing to Swedish companies. Yes, Mr. Anders Tofte, please go ahead. You have to unmute, I guess. We can't hear you.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you and we can see your screen. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much. Excellencies, business leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for inviting Business Sweden, the Swedish Trade and Investment Council, to this event here today. I will give you the picture of what we can do. We have two missions. One is to help Swedish companies to grow their sales globally. Second, to help international companies to invest and expand in Sweden. But that's in both directions. It's also Swedish companies to expand and invest abroad. With our mandate, who is pretty unique, with one foot in the government, in the diplomatic part of Trade Commissioner and the Trade Commissioner's office, and the other foot in pure business development and management consulting. That gives us a mandate, that gives us a strength that you all can leverage on. And there's a very strong mandate from the Swedish government and the Swedish industry and business. We are in over 40 markets. We have more than 50 offices, and we have more than 400 people out there in the market, both locals and Swedes. And that also gives us a strength. We are former business leaders. We are management consultants, and we can help on the ground. I will show you our service offering, but I think the most important part to show you is that We help you to grow, we help you to invest, and we minimize the risk. And as lots of people before me have said in this event, minimize the risks and take all obstacles away. That's our main goal. This is the most important slide. It's our service offering. If you look at the left-hand side, this is government services. If you look at the right-hand side, that is our business and consulting services, and they are mixed. I would like to mention a couple of them who could be interesting for you in this event here today. If you look at the left-hand side, of course, we help SMEs to grow, and we have special government programs and fundings for that. But I think that the ecosystem growth programs are even more important. The Swedish government has a program together with the Foreign Office, who is called High Potential Opportunities. And that includes Swedish companies partnering with companies in your country and partnering with the best in the world in cases that are worth more than 2 billion Swedish crowns. And we are running this program over time. We also work with all kinds of operational things, as many before me have said here today, to help companies in their daily work, trade facilitations. And we help people and companies, and both the Swedish side and the Pakistani side, to invest both in Sweden and also in Pakistan. On another side, there is another things I would like to mention, because minimize the risk is really important. I would say that in the market expansion, we help a lot of Swedish companies with the global expansion strategies, but the market entry and to get the companies growing when they have done the entry, that's even more important. And one of the things right now on the agenda is, of course, mergers and acquisitions. In this event, we also have lots of people from all kinds of businesses, government, states, other stakeholders. I will say that the business to government, the government to government are a really important part, and we can help you all with stakeholders management and coordinate the things. A couple of small words about what we're doing today in Pakistan. We have a great team already in the country. And I will say what our ambassador, Mr. Henrik Persson, he's one of the most experienced ambassadors, if you call it in international business experience, and an old colleague to us. He, together with his team and the business society from Sweden in both Lahore and Karachi and Islamabad, are today representing around 40 Swedish companies. To mention a couple of them, Tetra Pak have been in the country for a long time. IKEA, Saab, Ecoline, Ericsson, and on the investment part, Tundra Funds. We could be more, we should be more for this land of growing opportunities. I also would like to mention the close cooperation with the Board of Investment. That's a really strong and important part. So, with that said, don't hesitate to reach out to me or one of my colleagues or to our ambassador, Mr. Henrik Persson. We're here for you, and we're here to help. Thank you so much for this opportunity to say a couple of words of Business Sweden, the Swedish Trade and Invest Council. Stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anders Tofte. Innovation Norway, like the Business Sweden is providing enabling environment in Sweden, Innovation Norway is doing the same kind of facilitation and service in Norway. And we have with us Mr. Ole Hanias. He would in fact highlight the business facilitation Innovation Norway is providing to Norwegian companies for overseas market expansion. Sir, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. You can see my screen.
In fact, Mr. Anders, you have to exit your screen, please. Mr. Oli, you can share your screen. I guess it would work. It would work.
Okay.
Yes. Now we can see it.
You can see it. Thank you very much.
We are not seeing your screen, Mr. Oily. Can you please share your screen?
I will try again.
Yeah. Mr. Anders, you have to exit your screen, I guess.
Yes, I'm trying. Let's see.
I guess there should be an option there. Yes, Mr. Oily, you please share your screen now. Give it a one more try.
Yes.
Now,
what about now?
Something stuck up, I guess.
Yeah, it says here on my screen that I am screen sharing.
Now you go ahead. Now you give one more try. Now it will work.
Yeah.
Yes, here we are.
Okay, thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Sir, we can't hear you, sir.
May I know who is speaking, please? Mr. Oile, you
okay.
Go ahead. We can listen to you.
I will go ahead. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving me the time to present Innovation Norway and a little bit about what we can offer. I am Ole Hennes. I am the Regional Director, Asia and Middle East. Innovation Norway, we spend a lot of Norwegian taxpayers' money. The Norwegian government invests in Innovation Norway for us to assist Norwegian businesses innovate and grow, both in Norway and abroad. We are owned 51% by the Norwegian Ministry of Trade, Industry and Fisheries, and 49% by the Norwegian counties. We shall be a sparring partner for businesses in all regions in Norway by meeting businesses where they are and being easy to use. We prioritize those businesses who have capabilities and the will and ability to grow. And we are using business needs as a starting point and providing businesses with relevant information about market opportunities. So this event is important for us to understand opportunities in Pakistan better. We are dependent on strong regional partnerships in Norway. That is important to us. And one of our goals is to create jobs throughout Norway by helping to build innovative ecosystems that address regional challenges and linking regional challenges and opportunities to national and international needs. We want to contribute to businesses solving global challenges, and we are working with that by mobilizing Norwegian environment to innovation projects and programs like, for instance, Horizon Europe's clusters and missions, and by ensuring that more Norwegian companies can deliver new innovative solutions to public sectors, both in Norway, but also abroad. And of course, contributing to sustainable growth and export of Norwegian businesses is important to Norwegian economy. So we are working to ensure that more companies are successful in achieving sustainable growth and exports by lifting the best companies into international markets and building new export industries, by challenging our customers, the Norwegian businesses, to assess sustainability risks, by connecting expertise and capital so that more companies can succeed in markets like Pakistan, and by developing financial instruments for the growth phase to reduce risk, just as Business Sweden mentioned, and also triggering private capital. We are an international company with some 30 offices outside Norway. So basically, we are a sparring partner that offer expertise, networks, and capital for enterprises with ambitions throughout Norway, businesses who wants to grow not only in Norway, but also abroad. And we work with those who believe they can change the world, with people who are passionate about developing products and services that the people of Pakistan is willing to pay for. We meet businesses with curiosity, expertise, and a willingness to persevere until your goals are reached. And we also put businesses in touch with private and public stakeholders that can help the enterprises to grow. And we know that our services work. The companies that get assistance from Innovation Norway, they achieve 9.4% higher annual growth in sales revenues compared to other companies. They have a higher value creation than other companies, higher productivity, and they employ more employees. So if any of you are contacted by Norwegian companies, feel free to send them to us, because we can help them to grow and we can help them to develop together with you. We are close to the Norwegian companies throughout Norway. We have offices all around the country. And as I mentioned, we have offices across the world. My region, Middle East and Asia, consists of offices in Dubai, New Delhi, Singapore, Hanoi, Shanghai, Beijing, Seoul, and Tokyo. And in this region, all our offices is co-organized together with our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, meaning that these offices are a part of the missions to these countries. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals are the basis for our strategy. Our work with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals will strengthen our position as a relevant partner for industry and commerce and ensure that sustainability becomes a competitive advantage for Norway, but also for the companies. We believe that sustainability improves competitiveness and drives innovation and development. Developing sustainable solutions and business models is central to our work with the businesses. In funding cases, when we supply funding to the Norwegian businesses and to international projects, we evaluate the project based on a three-part bottom line: economy, environment, and society, or the 3 Ps, if you like: people, planet, and profit. So, for short, you can say that if a Norwegian company needs good advice, strong networks, or money, they can contact us. So my goal with this has been to tell you a little bit about Innovation Norway, who we are and what we do. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any question regarding our services, feel free to contact me. Thank you very much.
Unmute yourself, please.
I'm sorry, I forgot to unmute it. Thank you very much, Mr. Ole Ahanias. Now we have Ma'am Linda Gandhios. She's in fact head of Department of Trade, Denmark. She would be making a presentation detailing the facilitation the department is offering for Danish companies for overseas market expansion. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. And you should have received my presentation for sharing.
Yeah, I shared.
Perfect. Thank you. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving us this opportunity to, just like our Scandinavian colleagues, presenting the Trade Council of Denmark and our services. From my end, I cannot see your screen. Am I the only one?
जी गुलाम मुस्तफा साहब वो स्क्रीन पे कुछ आ नहीं रहा स्क्रीन या एक आध स्लाइड आगे करें देखें maybe you can do it again जी now if you
we can see it on the slide now
we can see
this we can see the slide.
You can see the slide now.
Yes, now we can. So if you go to full screen, please, and second slide. Thank you very much. I'm representing the Trade Council of Denmark, and we have in Denmark a little bit of a different setup than in our Scandinavian countries. The Trade Council of Denmark has since 2000 been part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and our Foreign Service. We have three main commercial activities within the Trade Council. One being assisting Danish companies exporting abroad, also for Pakistan market. Two, attracting foreign investments to Denmark through our Invest in Denmark program. And thirdly, together with the Ministry of Science and Higher Education, facilitating a network of 8 innovation centers placed around in the world in sort of global tech hotspots. So we are in Silicon Valley, Boston, Tel Aviv, Shanghai, Munich, and a couple of other places. As part of the Foreign Service, obviously, we have a broad range of representatives in the commercial section in all of our embassies. We offer consultancy services to the Danish companies, and I will say a little bit about today what it is we're doing and within which sectors. If I may ask you to go to the third slide, please. Being a little more specific on the services that we offer. Now, we all know that the last year in operation have been very different from previous years. We can see that a national economy like the Danish one, where export markets is of huge importance to 90% of the Danish companies, that the fact that travels have been limited obviously has been a huge challenge. So we have created a new program called Boots on the Ground, which basically means that we, through our representations in various markets, can assist companies with their activities for those who are already exporting to those countries. Otherwise, our services include market research, a go-to market strategy planning for Danish companies, the notion of government and public affairs, so assisting Danish companies navigating in foreign markets through our embassies, and in the case of Pakistan, obviously through our embassy and in partnership with the embassy here in Copenhagen. As I said, we also work within innovation, so bringing together R&D facilities and ideas from Denmark and various markets. We are a small country with a home market of 5.8 million people, so we need to bring in new ideas in order for innovation to continuously thrive in this market. Finally, but not least of the areas that I want to highlight is obviously trade policy, both on the EU agenda, EU-US. I can see we have a number of colleagues from various markets. So there are a number of questions in regards to rules and regulations in the trade area that we also follow and assist Danish companies in navigating in those areas. Moving to the next slide, let me just dwell a little bit on what we have done from the Danish government side in terms of export and innovation and investment in this COVID-19 crisis situation. So a year ago today, the government launched a significant relief packages in order to support Danish exporters. First of all, as part of the official Denmark and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, our services for individual companies are not paid from the taxpayer. So there's a co-payment from the companies, an hourly rate that they pay for the services. This has been significantly reduced for small and medium-sized companies. This has been reduced by 75% last year and this year. We've also doubled the funding for joint export promotion activities. Now, unfortunately, like today, many of those delegations take place virtually, but we do hope that we, as soon as possible, again, will be able to do these joint delegations to foreign markets, sometimes including ministers or members of our royal family that we normally do 1 to twice a year. Furthermore, we have established, and I'll come back to it in a little bit, a task force in headquarters assisting the Danish company and a global response team being able to navigate in all of the questions from Danish companies. So a new team based in Copenhagen. And last but not least, we have strengthened our efforts in order to continuously attract foreign investors to Denmark. And for those of you who are following Danish news, you will see that these days a lot of discussion on the future supply on vaccine production. If we move to the next slide, based on the national evaluation of Danish strengths and competences, a number of new clusters have been developed and established this year actually in Denmark. So a total of 14 new clusters have been established. Out of these, we have in the Trade Council decided to focus our activities on the 8 sectors that you see here, where I'm going to highlight maybe just a couple of them today. And I can see we have some fellow representatives from some of the companies. First of all, energy. Of course. Denmark has high ambition on energy and reducing CO2 consumption. As I said, we're an exporting nation, so we are pulling many of our strength and resources in order to assist the Danish companies within a number of sectors or segments within the energy area. What we have identified here is wind, both on and offshore, energy efficiency in a number of areas, but specifically in industry, and the whole district energy, which is a quite strong sector in Denmark based on many years experience. I would also like to highlight the area of life science and health, where we are supporting Danish companies within life science and pharma, and within sustainable hospitals and elder care. Not only during this crisis is this an important sector for Denmark. The government just launched last Friday a new government strategy for life science, where the assistance to Danish company will have abroad will have an increased importance in our work. Let me move to the next slide, just to give you the contact details and information on our newly established global response team. We have a website where we direct all requests, exporthjelp.nu. So any interest or questions are more than welcome to be directed to that. And let me just end by saying a few words about our activities in Pakistan, if we can go to the next slide. Because this is obviously a partnership, and for our work, it is primarily done through our embassy and our ambassador and her team. And we have divided our service into 4 different categories, or 3 main categories. As I said, the explore phase, where we help with market research, various reports, basically to provide information in order for the companies to make decision on how to go to this market. Secondly, after the initial research phase, moving to engagement, so support companies setting up meeting programs or navigating, as I said, the domain of public affairs. What are the rules and regulations? Who do we need to talk to in order to advance in this business endeavor that they have decided to move forward with? And then finally, on the established phase, when companies are actually establishing themselves in Pakistan, we can help direct to network contacts who can help recruit, who can help identify the correct agents or whatever setup they decide to have in Pakistan. And my last slide and comment will just be to show you the team that are primarily working with the commercial areas headed by the ambassador. And obviously they work closely with us in Copenhagen too, and the business network that we have established regionally in Copenhagen. So to sum up, a service part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Denmark. The Trade Council offers Danish companies the opportunity and overview for exporting, and we also attract foreign investments to Denmark. This is extremely important for a small open economy like Denmark, and therefore we thank you, and especially the ambassador, for reaching out to us and including us in this webinar. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. Linda, for such an effective presentation. Foreign businesses cannot flourish in an economy without strong local support and joint ventures. To highlight this aspect, we have with us President of Karachi Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Pakistan. Karachi Chamber of Commerce is one of the largest and most effective chamber in Pakistan. So I request Mr. M. Sharik Bohra. Sir, please go ahead and present your remarks.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everybody. And I hope I'm audible. All of you can
Sir,
hear
you are
my
audible and you are viewable. Please go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I would like to congratulate the embassies of Pakistan and Sweden and Finland for arranging this vibrant roadshow of special economic zones in Pakistan. Before I comment on CPEC opportunities for joint ventures with local partners, let me apprise the audience about the Karachi Chamber. Ladies and gentlemen, you may all know that the Karachi Chamber is the most vibrant and powerful chamber of Pakistan. This is the premier trade body of the country, and we have a strong membership of more than 25,000 businesses and industries. Plus, we have about 55,000 members from different industrial town associations which work under the umbrella of Karachi Chamber. Karachi Chamber has played a great role in presenting the image of Pakistan in the global markets. The achievement has become possible by relentless efforts and engaging all the stakeholders towards a common goal of growth and prosperity. Karachi is the economic hub of Pakistan. It contributes more than 70% revenue to the national exchequer, is an attractive place for investors who can surely earn maximum profits by setting up their businesses and industries through joint ventures also. As you all know, with improved law and order situation and upon completion of China-Pakistan economic corridor and with Gwadar port, this region is likely to attract substantial amount of foreign investment from different parts of the world. Whereas Sweden, Finland, Norway, all can also benefit from the situation by investing or through undertaking joint ventures in Pakistan, particularly in the special economic zones and also in Karachi. The CPEC is a flagship project of China's BRI. It involves construction of roads, rails, seaports, oil, gas pipelines, optic fiber connectivity, cross-border trade, cooperation centers. CPEC project includes establishment of the countrywide 9 priority special economic zones, which we have already discussed. Now, specifically speaking as the president of the Karachi Chamber, I wish to just inform all of this knowledgeable audience that Karachi is the biggest financial center of this country and is the port city of Pakistan. We have 2 ports, one is Karachi port and one is Port Qasim. Karachi as port city serves almost 96% of port logistics to this 222 million people country. And Karachi is the most versatile, diversified, and culturally integrated city. And most of the multinational companies have their offices and their manufacturing facilities in this city. Karachi Chamber of Commerce has hundreds and hundreds of partners, especially in this time when the entire world is looking for projects related to information technology. We have great manpower, educated, skilled, IT educated girls and boys who are contributing for information technology. You might have read in the newspapers that our IT exports is rapidly increasing, has touched about $1.5 billion last year. And in the coming years, this is one of the key areas of the foreign investment, and that is the information technology. Then Karachi has a great potential for value addition of textile products. Companies from Norway, Sweden, Finland, Scandinavian countries, and European Union, they probably have the best opportunity in 50 years of history of the economic development of Pakistan. I personally feel that there has not been a great opportunity than what we have now, because Pakistan is now absolutely, the law and order situation is perfect, peaceful. There are no terrorist activities. The foreigners are coming, and the entire world is now looking for investments in Karachi. Karachi Chamber of Commerce can provide all of your potential investors and companies with feasibility reports, with practical knowledge of their businesses in fisheries, in textiles, in food products, construction related products, power related projects, wind power, solar energy, and many other. Karachi is the hub of Pakistan's wind power corridor. Just 70 kilometers from the port of Karachi, we have the biggest wind power corridor, and that corridor is growing. And there is a great opportunity for investment in wind power in Pakistan because because the industrial requirement for electrical power is increasing. So we need a lot of power in and around Karachi. Although we have excess power available in the country, but because the distribution system is not great, so there is also a great opportunity that Karachi Chamber can help a lot of companies to come and invest in power distribution businesses. Then the Karachi port operations are increasing because the import and export trade is increasing. So there is a great potential for off-dock terminals because the area around the Port Qasim and Karachi port is limited. So a lot of foreign companies are now taking interest to build off-dock terminals away from the main ports. That is a huge potential for Scandinavian countries because this is sort of a business which has to grow, which will increase. Pakistan's export and import trade is likely to grow more than 7 to 11% in the next 10 years. Although our current GDP is not really encouraging because of the COVID and because of so many other reasons. But with CPEC and with Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves building up, with the confidence of the Pakistanis living abroad has gone up, we have collected more than $1 billion through our Prime Minister Imran Khan's initiative of Roshan Digital Account Facility. That means hundreds and thousands of Pakistanis living outside Pakistan have great confidence on this government, and that potential will also be very useful for the foreign investors. Karachi Chamber of Commerce has a research department. We research on joint venture potentials. So I request all of this audience to get in touch with Karachi Chamber of Commerce. My email ID is president@kcci.com.pk. I'll share it in chat box also. So all of you, ladies and gentlemen, who want their countries' investors and companies to come into new avenues in Pakistan, Karachi Chamber of Commerce is the best platform for you, where we have those members who are already in businesses. So their opportunity to invite investors, their capacity and competence to give you the correct and real-time knowledge about the businesses in Pakistan is dependable, is credible. With all this presentation, verbally though, I would like to conclude with my great thanks to all of you, and with this wish that we all work together to make CPEC a great success for Pakistan's great population, which is looking for everything: investment in food, agriculture, education. Coastal development resorts in Sindh are a great potential for the tourism industry. So this is endless. The investment opportunities are great. Thanks everybody for your patience, for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sharik Vohra, for such an effective talk. We believe that, in fact, we would share your contact with the companies here in Nordic countries. And we believe when they contact you, you would help them to make an easy entry into Pakistan, and you would help them to find suitable partners. Because when they have joint ventures, suitable partners at local level, then it's very easy for them to enter into a market like Pakistan. Now we have a very important personality, Mr. Matthias Martinson. He's been, in fact, a very vibrant investor in Pakistan and represents, in fact, Tundra Founders and still remains one of large investor in Pakistan stock market. I would request Mr. Matthias to share his experience and perspective when it comes to investment in Pakistan.
Okay. Thank you very much for that introduction, and thank you very much for inviting me. I am one of the founders of Tundra Fonder, who is a Swedish asset manager with a focus on sustainable investments in listed companies of low income and lower middle income countries. These are markets that we define as frontier markets or early emerging markets. Today, Tundra manage a global frontier fund, which manage approximately $200 million. Out of this, $50 million is invested in Pakistan. We were early to set up a research office in Pakistan already in 2014, and we today have 3 employees on the ground. We are known for being very positive on Pakistan, but I would actually not agree with that. Rather, I would say that we simply have always viewed Pakistan as any other emerging markets in the world, with its pros and cons. I think for an investor in Pakistan, whether it's listed equities or it's private investments, I think the main differentiating factor for any businessman is what we refer to as the perception arbitrage. And one entrepreneur once told me a very wise thing. He said that 95% of what is written about Pakistan is about the 5% negative of the country. Personally, I've been investing in emerging markets for the last 25 years now. And after 10 years of investing in Pakistan, I conclude that the country carries similar challenges like any emerging markets you would approach. But as the perception of Pakistan is significantly worse than, for example, its neighbor, India, it means that competition is significantly lower. And that means, in turn, that opportunities are plentiful. 2 years ago, in July 2019, I wrote an article on LinkedIn called Pakistan, If Not Now, When? And in that article, I outlined our positive view of the new government who is in place since 2018, who we believe has the potential to put Pakistan on a sustainable growth path. And there are 3 key areas where we believe we see strong advances. We see it on the accountability, which basically means that correcting past mistakes of corruption and make sure that corruption ahead is less than in the history. The second part is documentation. Pakistan actually don't have low taxes, but rather it is the case that too few people pay them. Today, Pakistan has around 2.5 million taxpayers in a country of 200 million people. And the third part, which is about the special economic zones, is exports growth. And when we invest in a company, in our case, we have 3 key pillars that needs to be in place. First of all, that we need strong owners and management of the business we invest in. The second is that there needs to be a structural growth component. We need to see that whatever the company is involved in will grow faster than the economy as a whole for the next decade. And the third part, which is very important, is societal benefits. We want to invest in companies whose success is also good for the country where they operate. And I think if we look for the special economic zones, I think the societal benefits of them succeeding is very clearly there. I think you as potential investors can be very confident that the government will do everything they can to make sure that you succeed if you invest in Pakistan. And the reason for that is that the insufficient export base historically is the main reason why Pakistan has gone through painful economic boom and bust cycles. And the problem is that if you have insufficient export, it means that when your economy expands, instead you have a lot of imports, which makes your current account balance negative, and eventually you have a big devaluation and a reset of the economy. So what we see is that all priorities right now are on improving capital flows to Pakistan and improving exports. And if Pakistan succeeds with growing its export base the way it has done for the last 2 years, I think the country might be able to be on a growth path that we historically have seen India at. So I think when you, as investors, look at Pakistan today, I think you still have the opportunity to use that perception arbitrage that we did when we started investing in Pakistan. You can still invest in an area where most foreign investors are still too afraid. They're still too concerned about the past. And provided that we don't see significant political hurdles ahead, I believe that such an investment will be a very wise decision. So thank you very much again for inviting me. And as you can see, you have my contact details if there are any questions now or later on.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Matthias, for kind words. We appreciate that. And to share his perspective and experience, we have Mr. Jasper Bisbelle. He's in fact Chief Executive Officer of Tiagriam, Denmark. Sir, please go ahead.
Thank you. Am I?
Sir, you are audible and viewable. Please go
perfect.
ahead.
All right. Thank you. And I appreciate the opportunity to share some of my experiences. Let me say, I've been based in Asia the last 20 years and has done a lot of hello?
Yes, please go ahead, continue.
All right, and I've done a lot of direct business investments in very. I think there's a. All right, I think Dr. Maria, she maybe should unmute.
There is some disturbance.
Yeah. All right, I'll try to speak over her. So, Tigerium is a company with a daughter company in Pakistan. We've done direct investment the last 4 years there. And our current focus in Pakistan is twofold right now. It's export quality production, reaching Asian, US, and European markets. And the second part is the domestic market opportunities where we focus on specific residential and commercial opportunities and segments. And that's one of the reasons we have our fully owned subsidiary in Pakistan also. I've gone to Pakistan 10 plus times over the last few years, and I'm holding a 5-year business visa, enabling me easy access. You know, whenever COVID allows me to fly in, I'll fly in. So I'll highlight 3 pluses or 3 highlights I found over these last few years. First one is the high quality of business service options you have in Pakistan. That's legal, it's accounting, and it's banking. So it's very important for any new investors that you have that high level of quality in a country. Everyone speaks very good English. They have high standards of education in these business service areas. So I found that to be a big value add for Pakistan. The second one is to Pakistan's culture and your educational system. It's allowed us to find employees or employee with the characteristics that I look for. So I look for three main things: people with resilience, they know how to get out of a difficult situation, they move on, they move forward. That's very important in an entrepreneurial setting. Second point is good morals. And the third point is they're just pleasant to be around. Those types of qualities I've found in abundance in Pakistan when I look for employees. Third point of pluses I want to say is I've had great welcoming from immigration and from visa staff at airports. I've always felt welcome, and that's not always the case in emerging markets. I can testify to that, but great support from the Pakistan embassy in Copenhagen, from various other, bureaucrats. Other challenges? Yes, of course there are challenges. So let me just give a couple of those. And there have been mentions of some of them before today. There is a fairly high overall tax burden, I'd say that. But going through all the various opportunities with accountants and so on, there are ways to work through that and still benefit the country by paying taxes, but also working efficiently. Second point is that a lot of admin processes and our SECP repatriation processes and so on, they may seem time consuming, but going back to, if people pick the right business service provider, high quality, then it's just a step-by-step and very transparent process in my view. So that's some of the pluses and minuses. I'd say a couple of recommendations then for business owners or for business developers coming to, or going to Pakistan. I say the first one, try to find an event or something where you can network or get a sense of the culture. So in my case, I did a 4-day course for directors of public companies. I did that with some two times 2 days in Islamabad. That gave me access or input from a lot of business owners, lawyers, and so on from Pakistan's business. That was a great way, in the early days, getting to get a feel for the culture. The second part, we've already heard from the Trade Council in Denmark, but I used them for a lot of the early market research, a lot of the vetting, a lot of the long listing, short listing, and so on. So don't be afraid of reaching out to whatever country you are from, their local representatives. And then sooner or later, as an investor, you're ready to use the local people also. So I'd say overall, comparing to my 15 years in African emerging markets, I've really enjoyed Pakistan. I enjoy the business people and the culture. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jasper. You are always welcome to Pakistan. Great to know you've been so many times to Pakistan.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right.
Pakistan Promotion Network Europe is an important organization in Europe. They've been promoting the interests of Pakistan here. We have their president with us. Mr. Zubair, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, and thanks to all of the participants and the speakers as well. Now I think we are running off the time, and everybody has clarified much that how important is the CPEC project, and as far as the factor of production are concerned, so there are 4 factor of production: land, labor, capital, and organization. Pakistan, in terms of CPEC, is offering us land and labor, so we have to just set the capital and organization to run a good economy for you and for us as well. I would like to go forward to the Saeed Sheikh Saab, that is from us Pakistani side of the Malmo. He will say some of his words. So please, Saeed Sheikh Saab, if you hear me. Saeed Sheikh Saab.
Okay, so where sir, okay, we can take him on later. If you are done, we can go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have much to say because we are running out of time now. Thank you very much.
Thank you for understanding. Mr. Haji Ibrahim Saab, please go ahead. Haji Ibrahim Saab.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. A very good morning and good afternoon to everybody. And I just like to congratulate for the nice forum. And being as an investor and foods on the ground in 7 countries, I just like to participate in this forum that Pakistan is the most growing market at the moment, and the biggest return is giving at the moment in Pakistan. You talk about any sector, you talk about industry, you talk about retail, you talk about anything. So we are bringing 3 joint ventures in Pakistan, and all of 3 peoples are very, very happy to come to us, to Pakistan. They had visited the Faisalabad industrial zone. So I just want to share our experience of my friends who was joining us to put this project. So once I bring them to Faisalabad industrial zone, Mr. Kashif had already given the introduction. So they was very happy. And the one window operation was very, very supporting the investors. And now the process of company formation is going on. And I just like to say that Pakistan currently is the most dynamic country in the region in terms of investment. So this is what I just want to share. And if anybody needs, because I'm being a large size investor in the region, in Scandinavian, in Middle East, in China. So being as an investor, if somebody needs our expertise or help or support, other than the diplomatic side, we are always there to help you out, to make things go very fast and easier. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim Saab. Mr. Saeed Sheikh Saab, please go ahead. Mr. Saeed Sheikh Saab, are you there?
Saeed Sheikh Saab, please unmute your mic.
Please unmute
yes.
your mic. Yes, you are audible now.
Ji, thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for the all participators and excellencies to invite me here at this Zoom meeting. I can say one thing, that Scandinavians should take a step forward to invest in CPEC, Pakistan. There are several initiatives has been already taken, and Pakistan is a land of growing and great opportunities with almost 230 million people. So thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much. Now the house is open. If somebody wants to ask any question or pass any comments, he is welcome. Yes, please. Please go ahead.
Tausif Zamanji, Islamabad, I'm former Senior Vice President, Islamabad Chamber of Commerce and Industry. और इंटरनेशनल स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन हमारा जॉइंट वेंचर है. हम लोग पाकिस्तान में मुख्तलिफ सेक्टर्स में इकोनॉमिक जोन्स के ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं.
सर अगर इंग्लिश में हो जाए तो बड़ा अच्छा होगा.
Okay. So we are International Special Economic Zone Private Limited. I'm former Senior Vice President for Islamabad Chamber of Commerce and Industry also. We are coming up with various food and livestock projects in Pakistan in economic zones. Probably it's an interesting idea that if we focus on coming up with the Scandinavian Special Economic Zone in Pakistan, having the Pakistani diaspora based in Scandinavian countries, and the Danish food and agriculture players in relevant industries. We can provide them with, we are upfront buyers, so please do share your brochures of various machineries. So we are happy to buy quality products, what we are looking at. And of course, if we consolidate our efforts, coming up with the Scandinavian Special Economic Zone in Pakistan, we would be willing to invite our own resources, our money, our local partners, and let's take up the project to level next. You are most welcome. And I must congratulate the team from all sides who took this wonderful initiative. I believe that it would definitely help better understanding of each other, and the opportunities exist on the both sides of the equation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Mohammed, please go ahead. You have to unmute yourself, Mr. Mohammed.
Thank you, sir. All of the participants, thank you, sir. Sir, actually, Pakistan, alhamdulillah, nowadays is going so well, and the government of Pakistan has also tried to get the investment about the foreign people. So, sir, I just like to invite the foreign businessmen that they come to Pakistan and they invest there, because, sir, now the environment of business in Pakistan is going so well. Sir, alhamdulillah, you can see the government are also doing very well. All of the solution they can provide to foreigner, and they give all of the facilities. So, sir, I invite to all of the foreign businessmen that they come and see the Pakistani business, just like, sir, now, alhamdulillah, many, sir, just like Rishak Economic Zone, Islamabad Economic Zone, sir. So, according to CPEC, a lot of the companies are coming to invest here. So, sir, I just only say that all of the foreigner businessmen want to come here and invest in Pakistan, sir. So, on this occasion, sir, a lot of the people can also get the business, and, sir, our economy will be going well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. With that, in fact, we have thematically kind of arranged this event in a way that this was the first half, and the focus was on special economic zones of Pakistan, and I was moderating it as trade and investment counselor here at Stockholm. For the second part, our topic is, in fact, Belt and Road Initiative.